Welcome back. If you or a loved one suffers from cognitive decline, memory loss, dementia, or even early stage Alzheimer's disease, then you don't want to miss what our next guest has to offer. Today we have with us the communications director from the Integrated Health Center of the Rockies, Miss Amanda Vargas. She is here to share the amazing progress that has been achieved in the field of cognitive decline and Alzheimer's care. So glad to have you back.
Nice to see you.
All right, let's dig right in. Now, according to doctors, of all the chronic diseases that we could have, any of us could have, we really fear no other disease like dementia or Alzheimer's disease. And why is that?
Well, there's a couple of reasons for that, Gina. The first one being that it's the only one of the nation's 10 most common causes of death in which there is no effective treatment. And secondly, not only is it fatal, but it robs these victims and their families of their lives long before they're actually gone. So if you think about it, it's the only disease in which the patient dies not just once, but twice. The first time when they lose their memory and all mental faculties, and then again when the rest of them finally dies. So it's just an excruciating experience for everyone who is involved.
I'm going to move your hair real quick from your mic, just so we can hear you a little bit. Perfect, right there. Now let me also just let everyone know real fast that we have a free cognitive decline dinner event that you guys will be holding on Tuesday, November 5th at 6 p.m. The number's 303-974-1087. You need to call that number to see if you qualify, because as usual, the seating is really limited. So if you're interested, go ahead and be calling right now. Now, from what you've learned working with doctors and everything like that and focusing in these areas, what's a typical experience for someone who's dealing with these types of things?
It usually starts pretty innocently. So maybe they're forgetting things here and there, they're misplacing items, or they just notice they're not quite as sharp as they once used to be. And what's really interesting is that a lot of these patients will chalk up these symptoms to the aging process, or it's just a senior moment. And so it's not taken as seriously as it should be early on. And a little time will go on and other people will begin to notice. So maybe these patients are having trouble putting names to faces. They're having difficulty reading, writing, speaking. They're getting lost driving on routes that used to be very familiar to them, like they can't even get home anymore. And it just becomes very apparent that they're suffering from a failing brain.
So then maybe they say, okay, or maybe they're encouraged by a loved one to go see a doctor or a healthcare provider. They go in there, and then what do they normally experience?
Really depends on what the patient is experiencing when they go in and how diligent that provider is. Up until recently, there really wasn't any definitive testing that would allow a clinician to make a concrete diagnosis. So it's not unusual for these patients to get the runaround. If and when they're formally diagnosed, they're usually told it's too late. They have to have a power of attorney assigned, and they need to get their affairs in order because things are going downhill very quickly, and it's a tough process.
But I understand the tide has changed.
That's
and
right.
There's actually a solution for some people. So tell me exactly some of what you're seeing at IHCR.
This is so exciting. So we now know through science and clinical experience that the symptoms of cognitive decline, dementia, and early stages of Alzheimer's disease are not only preventable, but they're actually reversible as well. And we now have a much clearer understanding of what's causing these conditions. It's not the amyloid plaquing in the brain like we thought it was all along. And in addition to that, there's new technology and a new treatment approach that is allowing the symptoms of these conditions to reverse with a success rate of over 90%.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that for just a second. You don't go anywhere. I want to let everyone know again and remind everyone about the free cognitive decline dinner event that is Tuesday, November 5th at 6 p.m., 303-974-1087. That is the number to call to see if you qualify, because as usual, the seating is limited. So we want to make sure that if you want to go to this, right, that you can get a seat at this event. All right, let's go back, because I'm going to hold you to what you just said here. Be more specific about exactly what the doctors are seeing.
We are seeing a complete 180 in our patients. We're seeing patients going back to work, they're able to drive again, they're getting their memory back that they lost long ago, they can remember their grandchildren's names again. It's really phenomenal what can happen in a short period of time.
All right, we've told everyone about this free dinner event. We want to let everyone know again that it's November 5th at 6 p.m. So who should be coming and what really can they learn there?
Well, if you or someone you know is suffering from any of the symptoms associated with early stages of Alzheimer's disease or cognitive decline, like difficulty reading, writing, speaking, having trouble putting names to faces, you can't remember what you did yesterday, or you're misplacing items, then this is the event for you. And I highly recommend giving our office a call to see if you qualify, because it really could save your life.
Well, Amanda, every time you're here, we learn something new. We really appreciate you bringing us this information, and
Thank
we
you
want to
for
let our
having me.
viewers know again, right now, this is what you need to do. Reserve your seat for the free Cognitive Decline dinner event, which is Tuesday, November 5th at 6 p.m. And all you have to do is call this number right now, 303-974-1087, to see if you qualify to attend this free informational event on reversing cognitive decline and the symptoms of early-stage Alzheimer's disease. The Integrated Health Center of the Rockies paid for this segment.